Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. My name is Bala Mod6 and I'm your assigned project manager. Let's get started with the agenda. We will start with some background and level set the purpose of this meeting. Next, we'll discuss in detail about various project management methodology that are offered by our industry. Finally, we will discuss in detail about the most recommended project management methodology to be used for our upcoming project. Our organization has decided to develop an application for technology training. We need to start the development by selecting an apt methodology for the nature of this project. The purpose of today's meeting is to recommend the best project management methodology for completing the project by comparing and contrasting various methodologies like traditional, agile, and hybrid approaches based on key project constraints. Let's discuss about the predictive model. Here are the pros and cons against various project constraints for predictive methodologies. Let's get started with the change management. The nature of the project we have in hand is having more complexities and uncertainties. Therefore, there are more changes that are likely to come in the middle of the project. But the predictive model in general does not entertain many changes in the middle as it would impact the overall project timeline and budget. Therefore, it is documented under the downside. The next is quality management. Our organization is known for delivering a quality product to our customers, and the nature of the project what we have is likely to have many changes, which means there has to be a simultaneous testing that needs to be done with the development. In general, the predictive model has the waterfall sequence, meaning the complete testing is done only after the complete development is done as a prerequisite. Therefore, it is reactive in terms of identifying defects, which is again on the downside. Next is risk management. In general, the predictive model supports all kind of risk, high to medium to low, and the nature of the project what we have in hand is likely to have the high to medium level risk. Therefore, it is best suited for the predictive model. Next is scope management. In general, the predictive model expects the requirement to be finalized at the beginning of the project. However, the current project what we have does not have the complete set of requirement being finalized or fixed. Therefore, it is again on the downside. Next is the frequency of delivery. Since we have more complexities and changes likely to come, the best way to deliver the current project is using incremental fashion, basically the multiple product increments there. But the predictive model in general supports only big bang delivery or a single delivery. Therefore, it is again on the downside. Next is stakeholder management. Our current project is having more complexities. Therefore, more customer collaboration is required to get more feedback as we do the development. However, the predictive model doesn't provide an opportunity for a frequent customer collaboration as the product is delivered in one shot and the customer gets an opportunity to see the product only at the end of the project. So it is again on the downside. Next is the cost or funding uncertainties. The nature of the current project has some budget constraints. There are some uncertainties. But the predictive model is more suited for high funding certainty. Therefore, it is again on the downside. Last but not the least is the communication management. In general, the predictive model is having a regular project cadence for the project team to meet, but it does not have multiple ceremonies where the business users and the developers will get an opportunity to meet. Since the current project is having more uncertainties, it is it is more likely to have more interactions between the business team and the development team and the customer to have a good final product. Therefore, this again doesn't match with what the predictive model offers. Now let's discuss about the pros and cons of agile methodology. Let's get started with the change management. The nature of the project we have in hand is having more complexity and uncertainty. Therefore, changes are likely to come in the middle of the project. In general, agile is well known for entertaining change even in the middle of the project. Therefore, it is on the upside. Next is quality management. Since the requirements are likely to change, it is super important to have development and testing done in parallel within a time boxed fashion so that more defects can be proactively identified at the earliest. And this particular thing is offered by Agile, so it is again on the upside. Next is risk management. The current project is having a medium risk associated with it. Therefore, Agile is much suited for low risk and medium risk projects. But the cons of Agile is that it is not much suited for high risk project. Next is scope management. Our project does not have all the requirement ready to start off, and the requirements are likely to change or get enhanced during the course of the project. And the dynamic requirement feature is something that Agile entertains. So therefore it is again on the upside. Next is frequency of delivery. Our current project is having many user personas to work with. For example, a rookie software engineer or an experienced software engineer. The thought process is to have multiple product increments delivered to the market for each user personas. Therefore, we need to deliver the product in iterative and incremental fashion so that we satisfy the end personas with a minimum viable product. And this feature again is entertained by Agile, so therefore it is again on the upside. Next is stakeholder management. Since there are many uncertainties in the project, it is important to have a regular cadence of communication with the users, and the frequent customer collaboration helps us to build a product which is as per their expectation. And Agile provides this particular thing in terms of frequent collaboration with the customer being possible due to various ceremonies that are offered. Next is cost or funding uncertainties. For the given project, we have more funding uncertainty, and Agile is much suited for that kind of an environment. The reason being, we can complete as much of high priority feature development as we can with the available budget, and the remaining work can be dropped for the time being due to budget constraints. But the product would have been already launched to the market with the minimum viable features which satisfies the end customers. Next is communication management. It is important for our kind of a project to have a frequent collaboration between the development team, the business team, the internal stakeholders, and the external stakeholders. Agile offers multiple ceremonies in the form of sprint planning, backlog refinement meeting, sprint review, sprint retrospects, and daily stand-ups for various stakeholders to communicate with each other on the project status, the impediments, and the demonstration of the product, and for having a mutual learning experience. And this again is offered by Agile, which is on the upside. Let's discuss the pros and cons of hybrid methodology. It has the best of predictive methodology and agile methodology. Let's get started with the change management. Our current project is likely to have many requirement changes in the middle due to the complex nature of it. However, the hybrid approach provides very little room for changes as most of the planning in the hybrid model is expected to be done upfront, meaning all the requirement should be planned upfront, which is not the case for our project. Therefore, it is on the downside. Next is quality management. It is important to deliver the best quality to our end customers. When it comes to hybrid methodology, the planning or the requirement finalization happens way upfront. However, the implementation or the development phase of things can be done in incremental fashion. Therefore, Since the development and system testing are done in the form of time boxed, definitely the hybrid approach provides a better quality compared to the predictive model. But overall, when we compare the quality to agile, it is less in nature. So therefore, it has its own advantage and disadvantage with respect to quality management. Next is risk management. Just like the waterfall or the predictive, hybrid is best suited for all nature of risk. And our current project is more of a medium risk. So it is again on the upside. Next is scope management. Our current project does not have all the requirements finalized due to the complexities and uncertainties. However, hybrid expects all the requirement to be planned upfront. Therefore, it is again on the downside. Next is the frequency of delivery. Since there are uncertainties, it is very important, and the overall plan is to deliver a minimal viable product for each of the personas or user personas. There is a need to continuously deliver the product in the form of a product increments. However, hybrid has both aspects here. On the advantage side, the development and system testing are done in increments. Therefore, some portion of the project are still delivered in the form of incremental fashion. However, the overall final product, when it is released to the customer, it still follows the release milestone, meaning it is a single big bang delivery to our end customers. Therefore, it is not matching the expectation that we have with the current project. Next is stakeholder management or customer engagement. The Our current project has uncertainty, so there is no more requirement or need to have a frequent customer collaborations so that the requirements can get clarified and the project can be delivered with highest possible value and satisfaction. But hybrid methodology again does not provide an opportunity for a frequent customer collaboration. Rather, the customer is involved only at the milestone when the release is made to the customer as a big bang. Next is cost of funding uncertainty. Since our current project has funding uncertainty, so hybrid is not much suited for such kind of projects. Finally, communication management. Collaboration is a key aspect for any project to win customers' heart. And hybrid, since it follows some aspects of agile in terms of development and testing being done in iterations, so it provides an opportunity to internally have many cadence like daily stand-ups or sprint retrospects and so on. So it offers some flexibility in terms of the project team to collaborate with each other. So therefore it is on the upside. Here is a summary. Based on the advantages, the most preferred methodology would be Agile. As you can see, Agile has scored 7 based on the number of pros against each project constraints. And the second recommended option would be Hybrid, which has scored 4. And the least recommended option would be Predictive. Now let's see what are all the key differentiators that Agile offers. First is welcoming changing requirements even late in the development. This is what the exact project in hand demands for. As there are uncertainties and complexities, it is important to have a methodologies which support changes even in the middle of the project. Second is early and continuous delivery of valuable product. As we have multiple user personas to work with, it is important to deliver a valuable product to the end customer to get initial feedback. And this is a kind of project our organization is doing for the first time. So it is important to deliver them in the form of a product increments and receive continuous feedback in order to continuously deliver value to our customer. The third important aspect is designing an approach that gets the right people engaged at the right time is very important for making the project successful. Exactly. Our project has uncertainties, so there is more room for collaboration required between the development team and the customer and the market team in order to have a quality product delivered. This also ensures there is a clarity on requirement, the clarity on what is being delivered, and some of the ceremonies such as the sprint review gives an opportunity for the end customer to see the product visibly and give valuable feedback, which would ensure the customer and the development team are on the same page. Therefore, Agile is best suited for this kind of project. Thank you.